It is always an honor and a pleasure to have my old friend Tony Iommi joining us, and a man who, as I say all the time, he invented the music we love, heavy metal, and now he's going to make us all smell a lot better as well. Joining us right now on the show is the one and only Tony Iommi. Tone, how are you? This is exciting news. New music and a Tony Iommi fragrance. Who would have thought it?
Yeah, thanks, Eddie. Yes, I'm well, thank you. And yeah, it's definitely a new venture for me. I never expected this, to be honest.
How did it come about? Let's start with the fragrance, and then we'll get to the music. So, Scent of Dark is a fragrance. First of all, were you always into fragrances, and how did it come to be that at this point in your life you were approached to make one?
Yeah, I've always been interested in fragrances. In fact, ever since the early days of Sabbath, when we were touring, I used to, we'd go around the world and I'd pick up different sort of bottles of perfume and aftershave or whatever you want to call it, and collect stuff from different parts of the world. And I sort of quite liked that until I found something that I liked, and then I'd stick to that for a bit. And the interest went on. I just always sort of, tried different perfumes. And just out of the blue, a couple of years ago, when the pandemic sort of started, I had a call from a friend of mine who put me in touch, who said his friend Sergio wanted to know, was a fan and, wanted to hook us up together to talk. And he owned a perfume company, and he basically sent me a box of 20 perfumes, and I didn't even know. They're going, oh, blimey, that's great, thanks. Then I got on the phone to thank him, and we struck up a friendship from that day, and then we stayed in contact, and eventually, the one day he said, would you be interested in doing your own perfume? I know you like different perfumes. And he said, and I said, well, I wouldn't know where to start. He said, well, I know how to do that. He said, what you got to do is make a list of all your favourite smells, the smells you like, coffee or leather or whatever it might be, which I did. And then I'd let him know, and then his company with them would make mixtures of different stuff until we got one that was right, and he'd keep sending them backwards and forwards, and I'd say, yes, I like that, but he'd probably send me 8 at a time, and I'd pick one of the favourites from that, then they'd send me more, they'd improve on that, and then it went over like a long period of doing it, really, which was, for me, what I liked about it, Eddie, was that he didn't want just a name to put on a bottle. He wanted somebody involved from day one, and which I wanted as well. I wouldn't want to put my name on something I didn't know of. And he said, would you be interested in getting involved from the off and right the way through? And I said, yeah, that's the only way I'd do it. And basically that's what we did.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you about, Tone, because there's a lot of artists, especially well-known artists, that they just license their name to something, and I'll talk to them privately, and they're like, I don't know, I had nothing to do with it, I just gave them my name. I know you don't, I know your name means a lot to you, obviously, so you don't do that. So this is a case where you really were and needed to be and wanted to be hands-on in the development of this.
Absolutely, and like, that's what I did with the guitars as well. I've done it, they keep sending me them. I said, no, that's not right, go back, do this. And it's exactly the same what we're doing with the perfume. And what I like about him as well, Eddie, he's got we're on the same page. He loves music, he plays guitar, he wants everything done right, though, and, much the same as I try and approach songs, and I'll stay there till the death. He's the same with the perfume. He'll work hard at it, and everything has to be right. The boxing, the casing, the packaging, and the bottles, and of course the smell. And it was just a great opportunity. And I thought, well, yeah, this is brilliant. But he didn't stop there. He said, well, why don't we do some music to go with this? And I said, well, yeah, that's a good idea. And again, we both involved ourselves in it. I wrote the track, and then I played, and then Sergio played parts in it as well. So we've kept that together. So all the way through, really, Eddie, it's been, both of our minds together on it.
Sergio Momo is the name of this artist that you're working with, who you did both the perfume with as well as this song "Scent of Dark." So Tony, it sounds to me like this was probably also a great timing for this, because we talked some during the lockdown of the pandemic, and everybody was doing the same thing, pretty much indoors, trying to find projects and things to do to occupy their time. Was this something that came about because of that? Because the timing was good as well? Because it's something you could really take some time with, being in the pandemic?
Well, it was part of it, Eddie. It's to be approached with something like that, it really knocked me sideways, because the last thing I'd expected was somebody to ask me about doing a perfume.
Right.
I thought maybe a wine or something like that, but perfume, I thought, but it was a great, it was a great approach, really, and it enabled us to be able to do the perfume and the music together. And it did take the time over that pandemic. It took a long time. We've been involved with each other now, and of course trying to keep that secret as well. But no, it's really been a good venture.
Hey, Tones, who was the best? So is it safe to say that in the old days of Sabbath, you were the best smelling member?
No, not really. No, I mean, to be honest, Oz has always been one for smelling or over smelling or whatever you want to call it. And of course, Geezy used to have his aftershaves or perfumes or whatever. So no, I think the three of us would be into sort of perfumes.
Bill being the drummer, though, he's back there sweating. He probably needed the perfume. So tell me about the song. So the fragrance is called "Scent of Dark," correct? And now the song is also, which is your first new music in over 8 years that you've created, is also called "Scent of Dark." Tell me about the origins of the song, because I know over the years, Tony, we've talked, and you said you've just got this massive catalog of unused riffs. Is this one of those that dates back some, that you've archived and pulled out?
It's one of the ones that I've had for a while, and I never know where to sort of place it with because I liked the instrumental part of it, and so I used the first section, and then when it came into being able to put it into shape, when I had sort of something to work for, say, well, I'm going to do it for the perfume. Okay, right, this is what I'm going to do to it. So I wrote some riffs to go with the idea, and that's how I sort of done it. So I had the riff originally, and then I added more riffs to it. But I had about 4 or 5 ideas that I played to Sergio. But I said, this is the one I like, and he said, yeah, I agree. I think that's a good one to go with it, and it still retains the doominess, if you like.
Yeah, but it's really, what's really cool about it? It of course has all the signature sounds of Iommi Sabbath, but it also, the orchestration in there too, it adds a whole different element. I know there's a bunch of different people that contributed to the track musically, but I thought that there was it tied together brilliantly when I saw the video as well and heard the song. But to me, that orchestration stuff in it, I thought was a really cool extra touch to the song. Absolutely,
and that was sort of the plan from the off with that. I wanted to use a string section and to give it a lot more drama in it, and I think it worked. I like what they did, and it all sort of come together really well, Eddie. I was really pleased with it, and I like that direction we did as well.
Did you ever consider there being vocals in the song, or was it always intended to be an instrumental?
Well, we pondered over it at first, and then you thought, well, you know, if you start bringing vocals in, it brings another thing to it, and the whole purpose of it is for the music part of it and the perfume. So I saw that idea more of an instrumental, really.
And when you hear this, and when I hear it, Tony, it sounds to me like this could work brilliantly as well in, say, a movie soundtrack or something like that. Having such an archive of music that's unused like you do, is this something you'd like to do more of in the future? Would you be up for even like scoring something? Is that an interest of yours?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's sort of what we've done here on Centre Dark. I'm definitely going to continue that role for a while, doing more of these sort of doomy sort of riffs and with string sections. I really liked the idea of that. And yeah, I mean, as far as film goes, yeah, I've always been open for anything like that, really.
And just to be clear, so as far as the fragrance is concerned, are there two variations on it?
Yes, there's a collect. They smell the same, but there's a collectible bottle which will be probably quite expensive, and then there's another bottle that's got Iommi on it, and that's obviously more. It's got the same, but it's just going to be the cheaper version. You know, the bottle, but they look great. I mean, the bottles are just fabulous, and the packaging, everything is top notch. It really is, and you know me, I wouldn't be involved if it weren't like that.
Yeah, no doubt. And people can learn more about the fragrance. It's the company. How do you pronounce the company, Tony? Is it Xerjoff?
Xerjoff, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Xerjoff spelled
funny, yeah.
Yeah, Xerjoff. Go to xerjoffuniverse.com. Again, that's xerjoffuniverse.com. And that's where you can learn more about purchasing the fragrances. And Tone, I want to ask you about the video a little bit, because the video was really cool, really captured the vibe of the song. It was just, you know, for me and all of the Sabbath fans, it's so fantastic to hear you play and create something new and see a new video with you in it. It's been a while, so it's so good to see. Tell me about making the video. It looked like a really cool setting.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the setting is by my house, actually, and it's Sudbury Castle, and it's a great setting. We done the actual recording over in Oxford Way, but the rest of the vibe on the video, it was done at Sudbury Castle, and it really is a great setting. And not normally, people can't normally get in there inside their house, but Sergio knew the people, and he'd done an event there recently with Prince Charles. So they allowed us to use the house, and they never let people in the house normally. So it was great. It really worked good.
And you know what's at the end of the video, there's a scene where a woman is holding, I guess it looks like it's the bottles of the cologne, right?
That's right.
And when they make her disappear, though, Tony, it's not a good advertisement. She goes,
that's my wife.
Is that your wife?
Yeah.
You've made her disappear when she tries the perfume.
Well, you see her on the beginning of the video. When it starts, she goes through a door. She's in this black cloak. She goes through the door and then disappears through the door, through the gate. And then you see her at the end. But because she had to wear all this gold makeup and everything. And the funny thing was, when we did the video, then we had to go home. And I said, you're going to take it off first before we go in the car? She said, no, I'll do it at home, because we weren't that far away. And she wanted to use her stuff to get it off, you know. So we had to drive bloody well back home. And of course, I bumped into one of the neighbours. They must have thought we'd gone mad. They're all gold face and. Oh, dear.
So now you're gonna throughout your career you've signed albums and cassettes and CD covers, and now you're going to be signing perfume bottles, right? Are you going to do some events to sign these things and go out and promote it?
We've signed 200 of them so far as collectible, and Sergio signed them as well. So we've got these Swarovski, is it? Was Swerkov glass? I forgot how you pronounce it. I can never say that word. And the one bottle is black, and it's really rich looking. And the other bottle is gold, and it's got monkeys on it. You know, on my original SG guitar, I've got a monkey on the back of it, and we used this monkey and the SG guitar on the case of the perfume, and it's on the bottle. It's imprinted on the bottle. These little monkey faces. It was good. That was Sergio's idea. So it's a good idea, and that they are very nice, I must say.
A few other things, and I'll let you go, Tony. So doing this and making new music for the first time in almost a decade, did it get your juices flowing to want to make new music, maybe a new record or something like that? Is that an interest of yours at this point? Would you like to continue to put out new stuff?
Oh, absolutely. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoy playing and recording. I do get a buzz from it. And that is the plan. I wrote a song for Ozzy's new album as well.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, I done one for Ozzy's new album.
Are you playing on it as well? Because I know he's got a lot of different guitar players. Are you going to play on it also?
Yeah, I wrote it, played on it, played the solo on it, played everything on it. So I did that. I did that at home. So, yeah, I mean... I'm going to definitely do more, that's for sure, absolutely. I mean, unfortunately, with that, like I said to you before, that pandemic knocked a hole in it, really, a lot of it, because I couldn't work with the engineer because of all the restrictions of you couldn't have anybody in your house or your studio or whatever. And, of course, now it's still bad, but at least people are getting injected more, and that's what we're planning on doing now, doing more recording.
Well, that's great to hear. And how is your health? You did okay through the pandemic, and of course, you know, are you still having treatments and things like that for your health?
Yes, I still go for checkups mainly now, and it's all, dare I say, it's going good, Eddie. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank goodness. I mean, that's the most important thing. Things are looking good, because with somebody in your situation with, you know, pre-existing conditions and stuff, I would imagine the pandemic is even more harrowing because you're compromised in that regard. I have friends that are dealing with that as well.
Absolutely. I mean, I was worried about going anywhere anyway. Even when they started lifting it, I thought, I don't really want to, be around a crowd of people. I've been invited to different events, and I was invited to an award here. I got Rock God Award here in London, and I was really nervous about going to the event, so I actually didn't go, and I did my bit over on Zoom. Sent them they'd done a video live there, but yeah, it did worry me quite a bit, because I thought, well, if my immune system's down, it's easy to catch something. But I did have checkups day before yesterday, and everything so far is good, and my immune system's up, and so I'm very pleased.
That is great news to hear. And the Sabbath. Speaking of Sabbath, here in the U.S., as I'm sure you know, the special super deluxe editions have been coming out. Technical Ecstasy, I think, is the latest one to come out. I guess Never Say Die is next as they move through the catalog. We had you on talking about the two Dio records when they were just recently reissued. I imagine that's going to continue as well moving forward. You'll do Never Say Die, and then will you get into maybe some of the stuff that you did, the Tony Martin era or what have you, maybe the Born Again record?
Absolutely. That's the plan, to go through them all. Once we've done the Ozzy stuff, we're doing Ronnie, stuff. Once that's done, then it'll be, hopefully we can get to Born Again, and definitely the Tony Martin period, yeah. And it's amazing how many people have asked me about that. You know, that sort of took a long time, but it's finally, people are going, oh, God, we like those albums.
Yeah, the album with Glenn, too. I mean, Seventh Star, that's fantastic
Glenn, yeah,
record, too. That would be great. I just saw Glenn last week. We were in Los Angeles together. It was the funeral service for Frankie Banali, the drummer from Quiet Riot. And
yes, I saw you online, actually, doing that. I know it's difficult, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, well, it reminded me of when we were all there for Ronnie. It was in the same place, you know, and Wendy was there, and, you know, I was thinking of that. But again, Glenn was there, and I thought of the time I sat with you and Glenn and Geese at Ronnie's. But, yeah, I mean, Glenn, it's remarkable how great Glenn still looks and sounds. So you could easily do a reunion show with that particular record if you wanted to, because Glenn could certainly still do it, and I know you could.
Oh, he can. Yeah. He's one of the few people that can. I mean, the way he can sing, it's just unbelievable. I mean, funny enough, I've got. Do you know Jimmy? His manager. Jimmy.
I don't know if I know his manager. No.
Yeah, he's only a young lad, long hair and big beard. Anyway, he's playing bass on this song.
Oh, is that right? Is that right? That's great. Yeah. And the last thing, I can't let you go without mentioning this, because I read this last week. You have and I don't mean this as an insult, people will understand in a second, but you've become a fossil as well, Tony. Is that correct?
Oh, God, I couldn't believe it. Honestly, Eddie, I couldn't believe it when they got in touch with me and told me that. Yeah, it's a 480 million year old fossil they discovered, and the guy called it after me. And it's strange because I went into Birmingham a few days ago and to the Sabbath bench there, and they wanted to do some interview stuff. And unknowns to me, I didn't know they were going to do this, and they got in touch with the professor who found this fossil, and we did a face-to-face on the phone, and God, it was really really strange. I mean, yeah, I'm still beyond me now to know that I'm a fossil now. I'm a fossil in two ways.
People can call you a fossil, and it's a compliment now because you actually have a fossil named after you. That's remarkable. And the Sabbath bench, is actually a bench in Birmingham dedicated to the band, right? It's kind of like a monument there to the band, correct?
Yeah, it's a big bench with our heads on it, and it's on a bridge, which is the Sabbath bridge as well. So yeah, they've finally recognised that we're here.
Yeah, no doubt. Do you miss the touring, and do you miss the guys, Tony? Do you miss Sabbath? Do you miss that machine going, or do you think it's been put to bed properly, and you're okay with how it's all wrapped up?
Well, yes, I miss the guys. I miss doing live shows. Yeah. But you never know with Sabbath. You can never say, because I've been asked it now 10 times, do you think you'll ever do anything again? Well, you never can say, no, I won't, because you never know. You never know what's around the corner, I wouldn't. If anything, I wouldn't be doing long tours anyway. I couldn't do that again. But I do love playing live, and I'm sure some way or other we will, or I will. But who knows what's around the corner?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, having this track out and, of course, the accompanying fragrance is just definitely going to get people excited, because just hearing you play again, it's so good. When your manager, Ralph, was talking to me about doing this, he was being cagey about what we were exactly going to talk about. And I said, well, is it music? Is it music? And then I see a perfume. And then I said, there must be music too. And then there was music. And I said, well, this is great. And I saw the video, and it was just fantastic just to see something new musically. And then, of course, I'm looking forward to smelling the fragrance. I could always use a little help. I'm always running around. I could use a little spritz or something to make me smell better. So I'm going to seek it out, Tony.
You'll get one.
I
Oh,
would
that's brilliant.
appreciate that. I'd love to try it. But listen, it's wonderful to talk to you as always, and I hope this is just the start of some more things coming down the pike. I just thought of something real quick. I know you. I'll let you go. But Born Again, we talked about in the
Yeah.
past how you said you always wanted to remix that record. That's the Sabbath record for the listeners. That's the Sabbath record with Ian Gillan. And I remember in the past you had told me that you couldn't find the tapes. Have you had any luck finding the masters on that?
Well, apparently Ralph found a connection there where they were. I haven't heard anymore. We're waiting to get these now. They discovered where they were in some library in some record company somewhere or other. That's obviously I'd love to do that. Love to get that one sounding right, because I think that was a really good album. And when we first done it in the studio, it sounded great. But when it came out on record, it was really muffly and not good. So I want to try and do something with that.
Yeah, Ian Gill. I had dinner with Ian Gillan once, and he told me that he was so drunk that he didn't realize he told you he would join Black Sabbath the night you recruited him.
Oh man, I tell you what. Yeah, we met him. He'd just come in from Kuala Lumpur, believe it or not, and he travelled in from Kuala Lumpur, and we met him in Woodstock in Oxfordshire, and at a pub, which probably wasn't a good move. And he sort of turned up about 11 o'clock in the morning. I think Geezer and I were there, and he said, "Oh, I've just come in from Kuala Lumpur." Then we had a drink and another drink and another drink. Anyway, the pub was closing because it closed at a certain time, and they just locked us in and left us there. And God, the state of us at the end of the day, we were just paralytic. And he don't even remember what had happened. And of course, his manager said, "Ian, if you're going to make any important decisions, can you let me know?"
That's what he said to me.
And Ian went, "What?" He said, "You've joined. It's agreed to join Black Sabbath."
That's what he said to me too. He said his manager laid into him and said, "Next time you decide to join a major band, could you let me know?" He goes, "What are you talking about?"
Oh no, it was really funny actually.
Oh, that's great stuff.
Yeah, we got endless stories with him. I tell you, we had some bloody fun on that tour.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm so excited that you've made some new music here. Scent of Dark is the name of the song, the video, and the fragrance from Tony Iommi. And you can learn more at xerjoffuniverse.com. Again, that's spelled XERJOFF universe.com. That's where you can learn more. You can see the video for the song, of course, online, and listen to the song online. And Tone, I hope I hope we're going to be talking a lot more about coming projects from you. I'm real excited that you're doing stuff, and we've got some new music from you, and I look forward to checking out the fragrance.
Oh, thanks, Eddie. In fact, the fragrance on the bottle is Iommi. It's got Iommi on it. So just
easy to find. Yeah,
absolutely. I'm looking forward to making more music, Eddie. Really am, and talking next time. Definitely.
And where can people see your fossil if they want to see it? Where is it actually housed? Where's the fossil?
Oh my God! Don't you start.
Well, where is it? Is it on the Sabbath bench? Did you leave it there? Did you leave the bench?
I've got the picture of it on the Sabbath bench. It was. I've got that at home now. I think it's in London, in Sweden.
All right, because that might be perfect if they put it in glass on next to the Sabbath bench on the Sabbath bridge. That's perfect. They could put it and close it right there.
Yeah, somebody nick it though.
Well, you could do one-stop shopping in Birmingham. You could do all your Sabbath sightseeing, and you could catch it all right there. That would be perfect. So, yeah, that's awesome, though. I thought that was a great story as well. All right, thank you so much, Tony. Enjoy the holidays if we don't speak before, and best to you and your family. Always great to talk to you. Thanks for the time.
All right, boy. Thanks. It's lovely to talk to you, and say hello to all the fans out there. All the people.
Can't wait. Please let us know when you get to the U.S. We look forward to seeing you.
Absolutely. God bless you.
Huge thanks to Tony Iommi. Always an honor to have him on Trunk Nation. And check out his new song and fragrance, Scent of Dark, both of which are out now.